over here.
Oh God.
Yeah, I just want to have some fun. You know, I really do.
We're gonna have fun.
I want to laugh. I don't want to be serious. I just want to laugh.
Yeah, and have fun. That's what we're gonna do, you know?
Yeah, we on a sister ship. Come with us, we on a sister ship. Yeah, we on a sister ship. Roll with us, we on a sister. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You go with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You go with me and I'll roll with ya. Substance, sis, you know we on a mission, no games. Help each other get over some things. Real strength bring change. Cause we've been through the rain. Now it's time to shine like blame. Let's talk about life skills. We building up our quality to right wills. We rolling out of poverty, love heals. So we become the prodigy of how a sistership could be a really hot commodity. Stand together, we united, hold hands. Support each other's dreams and our plans. Doing everything we can. Just to show we understand the power of a friendship, fam. Live life on purpose. Together we learn. Yeah, let's talk. We don't want to see you hurt. And be here for each other, no matter the color. Networking, that's for sure and for certain. Yeah, we on a sister ship. Come with us. We on a sister ship. We on a sister ship. Go with us. We on a sister ship. We're my sisters. We got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters. We got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. Sister ship. We got this now. Come on, let's talk about it.
All right. Hello, everyone, to another segment of Queenager Wisdom. Yeah. You know, sometimes I have to stop for a moment because my brain is like, okay, what are we doing here?
Okay, you know, we together. We got this together.
You know, I think you and I have always been that close, and so we can kind of read each other's mind and, you know, kind of stand up for one each other. And that's what
like filling that gap.
adds to filling that gap. Exactly. You know, so, I mean, there are a lot of things that we as queenagers have gone through and might be growing through, but that's the key. Yes. To grow through it. And today we're talking about understanding and enhancing the beauty, benevolence, and benefits of aging with grace and style. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, growing old is a choice. Aging is a natural physiological process. And when we embrace who we are now, as opposed to who we were, hey, it's wonderful. So, co-host here, Constance, aka Ms. C, is with me, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about, you know, the benefits of aging. We're going to talk about, whatever the heck we want to talk about, you know, and hopefully you guys are going to share in the chat room some of your thoughts on aging with grace and style, and we're just going to have a good time. So, hey, Constance, how was your week? How was your month?
It was right at the time just flew. It's just awesome, you know. I know I wish I had like a broader vocabulary for the awesomeness of it all. It's just, everything is beautiful. It's just, everything just is so open, you know? And and I'm thinking about from the last show that we did, I just want to thank all our viewers, everyone who watched, everyone who tuned in, everyone who listened, and especially those who told me, this is the key. I watched the whole thing. I was like, yes, you know, because you know, it's so, I value your time. I value people's time. And for somebody to take an hour and say, wow, and tune in and really get something out of it and share, and then share it with me also, and share with us, you know. I'm like, wow, I'm just like blown away. I'm in full gratitude, you know, because people can be watching this, that, or the other. And a lot of times people don't have the attention span. They'll turn into 10 minutes, I'll get back to it. I do it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just pray that we just keep it on the road, keep it from the heart, keep it going, and just give what we have, because that's what we're here to do, just to to be of service, you know, like.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're two women who, I'm in my late 60s, you're in your early 70s, but we want all of our viewers.
Very early.
Yeah, very early, exactly.
I do a plus. So I'm gonna do this from until I get to 80, right? And then when I get to 80, I'm gonna do 80 plus 1.
Well,
plus.
Absolutely, I got you, girl. You know, right. I keep telling people I can't wait to hit 70. I find that from the time I hit 60, life just changed tremendously for the better. You know, it's like I had more wisdom, greater wisdom. You know, I could see things that I couldn't see before. I can sense on a level I was never able to sense before. And I think that this is what happens when we age with great grace and style, because a lot of people just sit around and they feel sorry for themselves. You know, they don't look at who they are now as opposed to who they were. And so they feel sorry for themselves because they're not who they once were. And let me just say, you never will be again. So are you going to be upset over who you are not now? Or are you going to embrace who you are with the grace and style that comes with aging, you know? What are some of the aging tips that you'd like to share, Constance, with our audience?
Well, first I'd like to say that we age gracefully. The more, for me, the more I'm in gratitude for what I have, the more I'm in appreciation for where I am.
Absolutely.
Not what I've lost, because I mean, we're going to lose things along the way, or we're going to, and I don't hate to even use the word lose, it's change. There's going to be changes along the way.
Absolutely.
You know, like gravity is going to be pulling us down.
Oh, yes, it does.
We have to do everything we can to keep it uplifted, right? Yes. So I would say, you know, like go to the gym, do some Pilates, just stretch, you know, because posture is always, you know, working against us. Not posture, but the gravity.
The gravity, exactly.
And just you know, like I can sit here and I can be so comfortable. No, you know, I'm going to sit up. And a lot of times I have to remind myself, or even my daughter, she'll remind me, you know, Ma, sit up straight. Shoulders back, you know, because I'll have that New York walk, you know, like I gotta get here, I gotta get there, you know, so you know, you all stooped over, you know, like that's not the look I want to portray. And once when I went to a Pilates class, my Pilates instructor, first day I walked in, I guess I must have bebopped in or slid in, I don't know, shuffled in, I don't know how I came in, but she said, hey, whoa. Go back to the door. I said, okay. She said, you're a queen. I was like, oh, that caught my attention right away. She said, you're a queen. She said, and she was a classical ballet instructor and a Pilates instructor and a model, ex-model. She said, okay, you're gonna hold your head up. You're gonna put your shoulders back and down. You're gonna put your pelvic in. You're gonna hold your stomach in, lift your chest up, put your hands at your side, and you're gonna lead with your legs. Wow. And she said, you're going to walk like that all the time. So what does it take? Just like when we have a dog, we can get our dog trained, but as long as we keep up with the disciplines and keep up with it, the dog will be trained. If we get lax, the dog is no longer going to do what we want them to do. Same way with the body. The body needs to be told what to do. Spirit is in charge, right? I'm in charge. I'm in charge of this body. I tell the body what to do, you know? So it's a muscle and it takes practice.
Yes, it does.
And every day it's practice, because the natural instinct is to want to slouch, you know, to want to be relaxed, to want to, you know, just lay back. That doesn't work.
Right. I agree with you.
Very important. Yeah, very important for the grace, to have that grace, the carriage, our stance. These bodies are our vehicles. They have to take us where we want to go. Every place we want to go until the day we leave here. So absolutely. I have really learned to, over the course of a period of time, progress, and it's not perfection, it's progress, over a period of time, to really appreciate this vehicle.
Right.
This is whatever you want it to be, a Rolls Royce, a Cadillac, or GT, or whatever you want your
or
vehicle.
A hoopty.
Or hoopty. But I'm not going to treat it like a hoopty, because I'm going to give it the best octane. I'm going to give it the best attention, give it some rest.
Right.
You know,
Right.
grace requires, you know, really, really taking care of ourselves, you
Oh,
know?
absolutely. And, you
Mhm.
know, I had my second COVID vaccine shot yesterday.
Mhm.
And today I was feeling a little sluggish,
Mhm.
and my arm was hurting. My left arm was hurting a bit because I had the shot in that arm since I'm right-handed. You know, I didn't want my
Mhm.
right
Okay.
arm to be all stiff and sore, you know, because I write with that arm and I do most things with that arm. So, you know, I I was sitting in the living room, and um, my body said, "Go lay down." Now, I could have said, "No, I want to watch TV, or I want to just sit here." But I
Mhm.
think learning the love language of your body
Yes.
is so essential to the process of aging with grace and style and beauty and benevolence and all that, you
Mhm.
know. And so I went to bed about, must have been about 1:30. I laid down 1:30, quarter to 2, and I didn't get up until 4:30. I told my Alexa, okay, set the alarm for 5 o'clock, but I was awake. So I said, okay, let me get up and start preparing and giving myself enough time so I'm not rushing, you
Right.
know? So
That,
if I hadn't have taken the time to take that nap my body was needing, I may have been a little, a whole lot sluggish this evening. And that's not the image I want to project of aging with grace and style. We've got to listen to our body, and we've got to be obedient to it, because if not, we our body begins to wear down and even tear us down, and we're feeling sluggish all the time, and we're calling it, oh well, this is because I'm getting old. Well, no, it's because you're not doing what you need to do
listen.
at this phase of life,
Yes.
you
More
know.
listening, right? More
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, not listening. I have been practicing to listen for quite some time. Listen to my body. If it says to go lay down, or if it says to stop, or if it says, go out and get some fresh air, or whatever it's guiding me to do, I'm learning to do that,
Right.
because I want to be as beautiful as I possibly can be
Right.
until I take my last breath.
Right.
I don't want to be looking like an old hag, old bag, because I'm not taking care of myself. And that happens, I've seen a lot of women who are even younger than you and I, and they're like, and they say, well, I'm this age. I'm like, really? And they look much older. Why? Because they're not taking care of themselves, And nowadays, this don't need not to take care of yourself, because the internet will give you whatever information
Whatever
you need.
information you need. You know, when you
Absolutely.
was right, I'm sorry, but when you were
Go
saying
ahead.
listening to the body, and when you said your body was tired and you took a nap, and so now you're rejuvenated, and that's throughout life. When you were saying that, I thought about one day I was standing in my daughter, you know how you're in the doorway to jam, the what they call it, the frame of the door, as you walking into the door, and we were talking and we were yickety yakking. It must have been going on close to midnight or whatever. And I just felt my body do a little. And I said to my daughter, well, I think I'm going to go to bed. My skeleton just said it's tired. She said, skeleton? And we started laughing. It was funny, but it wasn't funny because it was true. My skeleton was like, okay, let's go to bed,
Exactly. Like,
So
hello.
right. That's why I identified so much when you said when you're tired, we have to really listen. Am I hungry? Am I
Right.
tired? Am I bored?
Right.
Am I
Right.
am I sleepy? Asking ourselves, being in tune with that inner self, our inner self. That's where the
Absolutely.
grace and the beauty comes from also, because
Yes.
when we say beauty is only skin deep, that's not just a cliche. You can be the most beautiful woman on the outside, or man, handsome man, but if you're ugly on the inside and you have bad ways and bad habits and just nasty, mean and cruel and conceited and all those other things, you're not attractive. At least to most people, you're not.
No. Well, to most people who have uh, common sense and just plain old sense, period.
Mhm.
Because you know what? Unless we understand that, we must stay in tune with what our body is telling us. Unless we do that, there's going to be a lot of missteps we're going to make with respect to the aging process. And then we'll look up one day and we won't even recognize ourselves, you know? And a lot of people, as they age, they continue to try and be who they once were. I'm not the woman I once was.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not the woman I once was. I'm the woman who I am now. So who is that? I think it's so important for us to explore and experience who we are now, and then, you know, allow that knowledge to enrich our lives growing forward. And unless we do that, then we're putting ourselves in, the word that comes to mind is harm's way, you know, and we don't want to do that. I think that there are just so many facets of what we need to look at the senior level of life, the mature level of life, the aging level of life, that we have to be really, really real about. You know, sometimes we don't want to hear what our body is telling us because we don't want to do anything. You know, we don't want to change our behavior. We want to continue to do what we used to do. And like the saying goes, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. And so if living fully for all of your life, particularly those golden years, as they call them, or queenager years, as we like to call them, we've got to do the right thing. You know, the right thing produces the right results. The wrong thing produces the wrong results. And so we have to be real about that.
Precisely. And, you know, we're talking to viewers, you know, who directly to people who are, you know, in their golden years. But we're also talking to those who are going to eventually get to their golden years.
Oh, absolutely.
My journey, this journey of grace and style and, you know, aging and accepting and embracing and all that it took a while to get to that place, but the seeds were planted, like, say, when I was maybe 12, 14 years old.
Wow.
Because we have, in order to put our style, we have to have that uniqueness of, I'm going to own it, you know. So what does may not be fashionable, or it may not be the thing, or now they say, no, you don't do this, and you don't wear white shoes this time, and you don't wear red lipstick that day, and you wear beige with that, and you shouldn't wear this and that. I'm like this: if your body can handle it, and you're not pulling it down and squeezing it together and, you know, fussing about it, and you own it, then wear it, then do it.
Oh,
you know?
Absolutely.
And so when I think about, you know, at 12, 13, my girlfriend, her mother had a vanity table, and she had all this lipstick and nail polish, and I've been wearing red lipstick since I was like 12 years old. And well, you know, my mother passed away at 10, but I was around a lot of women, my aunties, my neighbors, my girlfriend's mothers and stuff. And so I would go out with them, and I would be in the corner playing with the 12 and 14, 13-year-olds. And they said, who's that little girl over there with the lipstick on? They said, oh, she's okay. She's not fast or anything, you know, because the first thing people would imply when you wore makeup is that
absolutely.
No, I wasn't fast. I just had that inclination that was what I liked, you know.
That's what you like.
That's what I like. And so, you know, and then even at, say, 14, 15 years ago, remember years ago, I'd say maybe 15, maybe 16. And sponge rollers, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, Lord child. I had to use sponge rollers to curl my hair because my hair was straight. And in order to get an afro, I had to roll them on sponge rollers.
On it and everything, you know, you had to really work it. And
exactly.
So when you had to sometimes leave them in all day long, right?
Yeah.
Godmother told me, she said, no matter what, always go out in the street ready. Do not go out in the street with curlers in your hair. And if you are, put a scarf around it. And, you know, it was around that time with Diana Ross and, you know, Supremes, and everybody.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Oh,
they had
yeah.
style and fashion and grace. Oh, they were, you know, not just them, but a lot of women, but they were some of my favorites, right? And they would have these little hats with the little daisies on them. Remember, they'd have turban-like hats, the scarves that you tied to the back. When anytime they wore something, that was the style. Okay.
Yeah.
So style can be emulated. Style, you can adapt style from a little piece from here and a little piece from there, wherever.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
Some of the most stylish women, and style has nothing to do with grace has nothing to do with looks. I don't know if you remember Bella Abzug. Remember, she was a congresswoman.
Yes, I do. I remember her. Now, she was a mess with her hats.
That's what she was known for. That was her style. Hats.
Right.
My Aunt Georgie, the same way, hats, and she gave me all her hats. You know, and so if you can wear them, I'm not going to just, I gave away quite a bit, but I'm not going to just give up hats because maybe people don't wear them as much. You know, that's okay. They don't have to.
Right, you know? Right. You have to develop your own unique style that says, Pam, this is me, and I like this. I like me.
You got, I like
that. Yeah. Or like Emerald on Emerald Lagasse, and I share this on Facebook quite often when I read something I totally agree with. Bam.
Bam. Yeah.
You know, bam. Bam. You know, I mean, you can't get any more right than bam. You know,
that's all up in your face. You know,
exactly.
Yeah. So grace and style, it has nothing to do with good looks or makeup or designer clothes, you know, or dressing the best. It has nothing to do with that. It's embracing for me, it's embracing yourself. Grace and style, it's an inside job.
It's an inside job. I agree with you.
It's the confidence, you know, I think we mentioned that, the confidence and embracing all of the wrinkles, the flaws, the flabby skin, the you know, the rolls, the flaws, whatever the wrinkles, whatever it is, just embracing it. If you can do something about it, fine. If you can't, just let it go, move on to something else, you know, and don't stress about it, because I think I was alluding a little earlier that you know, what we lose. And it's not just a loss, because some of us are going to get thinner hair, alopecia, you know, loss of muscle strength, you know, all the, you know, but we have to just figure this thing out and still love the lumps and the bumps and the
absolutely
cankles and the skinny legs and whatever we were born with.
Fat thighs.
Oh, we're never going to be.
Girl, I got some thighs, and I had to tell my granddaughter, I said, you definitely have, my oldest granddaughter, I said, you definitely have your grandmother's thighs, okay? I mean, but love them, you know, we love who we are. We try and do the best with respect to eating healthy and getting some level of exercise in, but whatever it is, whatever, you know, comes from, you know, your aging process, embrace it, love yourself. And I think one of the things that women need to understand is that you have to remove toxic people from your life.
Yes.
As you age, as you grow and evolve and age, because toxic people will make you feel bad about yourself. And they'll keep making you feel bad about yourself. Why? Because they feel bad about themselves.
Right.
You know, toxic people ain't gonna make you feel good about yourself because they don't feel good about themselves.
Exactly.
So it's so important that, you know, we realize that I cut out a lot of people from my life, a lot of people, you know, and I started doing that at about 28 when I started working at North General. The people who were part of my life, I cut them out because they weren't on the same path I was on. And then when I grew in what's the word I'm looking for? As I grew and evolved to new levels of height in my growth at North General, where I started out as a medical transcriptionist, and when I left, I was director of women's health services. For every phase that I went through, There were people I had to cut out of my life because they just weren't in tune with who I am, where I was going, what I was about. And I think that's so important for women. I don't care what your age is. And I think one of the reasons we do this program is because we want younger women to look forward to the aging process. Don't hate on it. You know, a lot of people are haters when it comes to the aging process. And, oh, I'm growing old, or, oh, my hair is falling out, or, oh, you know, I have to wear glasses, or, you know, whatever. They start picking on all the changes and making those changes seem terrible. Oh my God, they're terrible. Everything, all these changes are terrible. You know, it's funny because when you talk about stuff falling, I was talking to a young lady who I have mentored for a number of years out in California. And we hadn't talked, oh my God, for almost a year. Mm-hmm. And so I sent her my latest picture that I did, that the photographer did of me. And she says, oh my God, you look fabulous. Mm-hmm. And your boobs are perky. I had to laugh. I'm like, really? And yeah, because I take care of myself. I wear the right foundation. I've always worn the right foundation, you know, and I can go, when I go to the doctor, there's a nurse who's an assistant, a health assistant. She always says to me, you always smell so good. Mm-hmm. You know, I said, because you know what? From the age of 16 on, I've been very particular about my hygiene. Okay. And I remember when I was a young woman, a lot of older women had a funny smell. Same thing with men. They didn't smell good, you know? And that was one of the things that I did not like. I'm like, you know, that made me not want to age, because, you know, I would come across women who were in their 50s and 60s and they didn't smell good. So I always, from age 16 on, I made it a point of smelling good, okay? Mm-hmm. If for no one else, for myself, mm-hmm. you know? So we don't have to focus on what somebody else wants or needs from us. What do we want and need from ourselves? That's so important. And, you know, as we age, you know, we have to take better care of ourselves. We have to focus on our hygiene, you know? I mean, I don't have a problem when I'm in the shower going between and, okay, oh, that smells, okay, fine. I smell fine, okay? I mean, I do the checks, you know? I do.
You have to do the checks.
Absolutely. Even going behind and, oh, that smells good. Okay, all right, I'm good. I'm clean. I smell good. I'm ready to get out of the shower, dry off, and then I put on my body lotion. And it's a body lotion I wear that people are always saying to me, "Ooh, that smells so good." I was at the doctor's office, and there was a woman sitting in the chair next to me. She said, "Your pure perfume smells lovely." I said, "Thank you." Just thank you. I didn't have to give her any information on what it was. I didn't have to justify it or nothing. I just said thank you. You know,
accepting a compliment, that's grace. That's graceful. Being able to just accept a compliment and say thank you.
Absolutely.
Being able to just give a compliment, you know, in sincerity, you know, and just move on from it, you know, not wanting anything out of it. You know,
and just move on.
And just move on. When you talked about the hygiene and those kind of things too, and I was saying check, is everything is a check. Just getting, I mean, you have to make a major production, but you know, to have balance, to have proportion. You know, if you know you're going, say you're going to go to church, right? And you know you love to praise and worship, and you like to jump and shout, you know. You want to make sure you're decently put together, that dress is not going to rise up above your butt, and your breast is not going to start hanging out your whatever. And now if you're going to the beach, that's another thing. You put on the bathing suit, whatever you do, you're okay, jump in the water, you know, but you know, just to be aware of inside and be aware outside.
Absolutely. You know? And that, like you said earlier, that inside is most important, because it's going to reflect outwardly who you are.
Yeah, that's right.
What you believe in, what you do, the content of your character. It's just going to reflect, the inside is going to reflect the content of your character, externally, So when we feel good about ourselves and we take the time to do the spiritual work, and one of the things I think a lot of people need to focus on, a lot of people have had some not so good childhoods, and those childhoods, they never do the work that's essential to make them feel better. Because like I always say, what someone did to you, they victimize you. You are not a victim. Exactly. So don't take on that victim mentality and spend the rest of your life hating yourself because of what somebody else did to you. Having gone through the very difficult childhood I went through, if I had not made a decision to be the best me I can be, you and I maybe we wouldn't have met. Maybe we would have met, or we would not have liked each other. Maybe we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now. So I think that as we age, whatever garbage we're storing on the inside of us has to be thrown out. Definitely. Have to get rid of it. Definitely. You have to allow yourself to move forward loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself and you spend the rest of your life trying to find someone who loves you, you're wasting your time. Because whoever you attract is going to be a reflection of who you are.
Exactly.
So as you age, you want to make sure that you love yourself. See this, because I wear this all the time. It says love, L and the little heart, O-V-E, love. And that's one of the things that I tell people, just love yourself. Just love yourself. And whatever it is required for you to do that, do it. If you need to change the people you're around, if you need to change your job, if you need to change how you're feeling about yourself, no one can do that for you. You have to do that for yourself.
Exactly.
And it's that simple. It's that simple. Okay, we have to do the work to age with grace and style and beauty and benevolence. In order to embrace the benefits that come with aging. Because you know what? I love being the age I am now. 67 looks good on me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And the thing about it also is that when you were saying we have to taking care of ourselves, back to the doctor thing, taking care of ourselves is, to eat right, definitely. But back to that posture thing, I'm one with posture and bones and skeleton. I guess that's where I am today for whatever reason. And so it means bone care. It means taking a bone density test, after a certain age. We're talking about like say 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever now, right? Taking that bone density so you have something to compare it to, getting blood work, looking at our family history, taking vitamins and supplements. Let's just say supplements, but not just to go buy a bunch of supplements because they're on the drugstore counter.
Absolutely.
Or get them because one of our friends is taking on, I'm taking all of this and I'm my immune system because I take vitamin D and I take zinc and I take vitamin C and I take this. You may not even need all that.
Absolutely.
When you get a personal evaluation, this is a personal journey. Everything should be personal, a personal evaluation. As to what's I may be taking supplements that may harm me more than help me, So I just wanted to touch
absolutely
on that. Yeah, and just zero in on really what works for me. What is for me. If I look at my blood work, if I look at what I'm allergic to, like it may be better if you eat meat and I don't eat meat, or vice versa.
Exactly.
I can't follow the trends. I have to, what is for my body, you know?
Absolutely.
This is my vehicle, right? And I want to age gracefully, and I want to age with style. And another thing on style, you know, when I was saying you could take from different people, I remember, you know, just the old time people. I like that old time Hollywood glamour type of stuff, you know. And I remember Dorothy Dandridge, and it was a time with Jackie Kennedy in the 60s, like every time she was on the cover of a newspaper, and it was the simplest style, you know what I'm saying? Loafers and some jeans and a white t-shirt, a white blouse or whatever, you know, but
right.
certain styles, you know, like Audrey Hepburn and you know, like I just love Lena Horne, you know, Nancy Wilson. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on.
On and on, right.
Today, you know, people also, but I'm just talking about just going back a little bit because, you know, the list can just go on and on. And I don't mean to leave anyone out because we have so many women who have had such grace and style, you know, and some of it is in and, you know, some of it is a quiet on the way. I remember when I was in junior high school, I used to wear a bracelet from here all the way down to here. You know, that was my style. You know, I would now.
That was your style, exactly.
That was my style. You know, like the clinky, 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 and all these bracelets. But you know, but I outgrew all that stuff. I used to change my hair every day, every color, every style, but you know, I'm like been there, done that. You know. So I kind of like keep it a little more simplified. Like I love your earrings. I love your I love all of that.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I mean, you're looking gorgeous and glamorous. Shoot.
Hey, we both are. So I think we are representing well tonight.
Thank you. But you know what? I have to be so real about that in my style that, you know, here lately, and not just because of COVID, but like, if I have something on my neck and I can't communicate to you the way I want to, I don't need that on my neck. You know, if I have some earrings and they're jingling and dingling and I'm trying to get a message to you and I'm talking to you and they on my last nerve.
They just jingling, huh?
Yeah, or if they, you know, if they, any kind of annoyance, I need to be free, just free. So most of the time,
yeah,
even sleeves, I like nothing on my arms, you know, so I can get free and loose and move. And I guess that's part of my style too. And sometimes the style can be quirky. But it's okay because it's you. And like they say, I read that.
Absolutely.
Be you because you're the only you can be because everybody else is taken. So I can't jump in your skin. I can't jump in Tiffany's skin. I have to be me.
Yeah.
Everybody else is taken, you know? Yeah, so this has really been a lot of fun to me. And I would say if I was to sum up Grace, I don't know how much time do we have? Are we running out? Because you know we
we got a little time, about 20.
Time? Oh, great!
Minutes,
I love
time.
I just love time. I love to talk. Because sometimes I don't talk. You know, when I'm in my house, Deborah, it's so quiet you can hear a mouse. Most of the time, if I'm listening to a recording or a tape or a lesson or some gospel, some jazz, you know, a lot of times I don't even want to hear a whole lot of words, but every now and then I do. But it's just quiet.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm even talking on the phone. So when I talk, sometimes Lana will say, Ma, did you talk to anybody today? Because I'll be, you know, so that's how I feel when we talk. Yeah.
And we have always had the same level of energy and love for one another that is just so fulfilling and so energizing. Mm-hmm. So I love it. I mean, I live in a house where there's 6 of us in this house and 2 dogs. So there's never a dull moment, very rarely a quiet moment, you know, and the new dog and the older dog be yapping and barking and carrying on at each other. I said to the kids, I said, look, y'all gonna have to take one of those dogs upstairs because they start barking and yapping at each other. That's not a good fit for the show, okay?
They communicate.
I said, y'all take one of them upstairs, okay?
Oh. Nothing.
You know, so, and there are times when I just look, sometimes I long for the peace and quiet you talk about. I do, you know, I may go to my room or I may get in my car and go to the grocery store or just go somewhere where I can just be one with nature, be one with the universe. And I think that that's so wonderful. And I think when we talk about aging with grace and style, one of the things that I thought about is stress. You know, so many people our age are so stressed out that, and stress will age you. And not only will it age you, it will kill you. Okay. So and make you very ill before it kills you. So, you know, I think it's so important to look at your level of stress. How much stress do we have in our lives? And is that stress overwhelming us on a regular basis? Because if it is, you have to make some choices about what you need to do in order to age with grace and style and feel good about yourself and just love yourself. Stress, you know, I can't stress it enough that stress is a killer. Okay. And as a health educator, you know, I have told so many women, lower your stress levels, you know, get out of those places that stress you out, move away from people, move away from things, change your behavior. You know, with the internet, there's so much you can learn about yourself and life. Today I was on the internet and I was looking at a lot of celebrities. There was a piece that I clicked on to. It was celebrities then and now. And some of them had aged very well. And some of them were like, whoa. I mean, they look like Grandma Moses and Grandpa Diddley or whatever. You know, it's just, you know, they don't realize what they're doing to themselves as they age and how that process is going to impact how they age. You know, I spend a lot of time at home. I've always been a homebody. Always been a homebody. I like being at home. And I spend a lot of time just sitting. I have my special chair and that where I can put my legs up. I have my books and my papers and my computer and my phone around me. So whatever I want to do, and then I watch whatever shows I want to watch, and I just do me. I do what works for me. And I think that that's so important for women in their younger years as they age to remember, do what works for you. Do you, boo. You know?
That's right.
Because if you don't, you know, trying to live up to other people's expectations and trying to get in and fit in where you don't belong, well, that will stress you out right there. Because if you don't belong, if you manage to get in where you don't belong, you're going to keep trying to fit in and you're never going to fit in.
Right. You never.
So that's something that you have to really, really consider because, you know, life is marvelous. Life is beautiful. I mean, I don't focus on what I don't have. Like you said earlier, I'm just grateful for what I do have, you know, and there are things I still want, but they are not priority. Being grateful for the life I have, being grateful for my family, being grateful for feeling young, you know, despite what my age is, I feel young. Oh yeah, sometimes I have the aches and the pains and, you know, my knees are acting up and, you know, my back may be acting up. My skeletal system is saying, okay, okay, you're not doing what you need to do. So this is a warning.
Right.
And we got to understand the warning signs that we get and make those changes. And I try to understand the love language of my body so that I can make those shifts ASAP so that I can feel better, feel my best, and enjoy my life from this phase 67 growing forward. And, you know, unless we take the time to take care of ourselves, people look up one day and they feel sorry for themselves. They're not grateful. They feel like life has dealt them a bad hand.
Dealt them a bad hand, or life owed them something. And when you said stress, with the stress thing, just 1 minute with that. Stress, especially for older, for the golden years, Sometimes it means letting go, especially letting go of your children. You raised your children. Stop trying to tell them what to do and what not to do and what they shouldn't do and who's this and who's that. No, you got to take your hands off of it. We have to take our hands off of, I've learned that I have to take my hands off of things that I can't control. You know, the only thing that I can control or halfway control.
And that you're not supposed to control.
It's with inside of me, you know, and I have to go inside for that. And it's not just me alone, but I didn't create it. I can't control it, you know, so that's not my, so a lot of times we're at an age and you're wondering why you're so stressed out and you say, oh, well, my daughter, you know, she's 52 years old, she's 40 years old, and we had a this and we had a that, or my son and and he's doing this and his wife is that. We got to keep our eyes in our own business, you know, because that will stress us out.
Absolutely.
In other people's business, trying to run other people's lives, trying to, you know, I've learned if people don't ask me for advice, I don't give it. And if they ask me for advice and they don't,
that me either,
I don't give it no more. Okay, because I'm not gonna.
Exactly.
We had a conversation. She said, and don't be honking me. I said, no, I'm not gonna honk you. I thought we were gonna, you know, talk about this, and I'm not gonna be the Gestapo with the did you do this, did you do that? I'm not a nagger. You know, if you ask me something, if I can be of help, then fine. If not, because I don't want to be the know-it-all. That's another thing, aging gracefully and with style.
Absolutely.
You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be the know-it-all. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be right. You know, sometimes I'll give up right just to have peace, just to be happy. You got that. I don't have to be right. You know, it's okay. I'm good. But, you know, growing up in adolescence, you had to be right. Oh, let me make my point. This is it. This is the way it is. And this is the truth. But, you know, you have truth and you have fact. So what is fact and what is truth? My truth may not be your truth, you know? So, but a lot of times I'm not going to go nick for knack. And that's how I find peace in growing gracefully and with style, because we have to have outside relationships. You know, I can't be a hermit or isolated and say, I'm not talking to anybody. I do like my quietness, but I love being with people and interacting and working things out, because there's not going to be perfection all the time, you know? So yes, absolutely, should be effortlessly. It should be seamlessly, and when I say seam, SEAM, seamless. You know, without, you know, when you have a quilt and everything is just sewed together nice and neat. It didn't have to be a fight and a struggle, especially now. We should have enough inside life experience that we can draw on the good stuff. Leave all of that bad stuff. If it's some still there, get rid of it. You wonder why you see older people all miserable and nobody to talk to and no one wanting to talk to them, because sometimes they carry that old self all the way up to the old self. You know, nobody wants to be around anyone miserable or who has to have their way all the time, you know, or mean and ornery, you know.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and feel like they know it all, you know, like, oh, there goes Ms. Know-It-All.
Oh, please. I don't want that. I don't want to be that person. God bless them. God bless me. Thank you, God. That's not me.
Yep.
You know,
hello.
I don't want to be the person.
Yeah, exactly. Me either. I may share, like you said, I may share something, but if you receive it and do something with it, fine, that's you. But I'm not going to try and push it on you or make you do, because see, that's your life. And going back to what you're talking about with children, you know, our adult children, I know people, women who are still trying to run their adult children's lives.
And how's it working for them? How's it working for them?
And it ain't working for them. It ain't working, you know? So I sit back and watch them. I'm like, look.
You did your job already. When you raised them, you had the opportunity, you did your job. Trust that you did enough that they're going to be okay. You know, they're going to choose the right mates, at least.
Absolutely.
And it may be the wrong mate, but so what? Let them find out for themselves at times, you know? Not to say that
absolutely,
you can't say anything, but you're not the ruler, you know? I was thinking about James.
Absolutely.
James, be quick to listen, be slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to listen. You know, and that I love scripture because it's so much wisdom. You know, I can go through Proverbs and through other books in the Bible. I don't know, James just came to me. Be slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to listen. So I'm learning, and it takes practice too. You know,
it does.
To listen, to just listen, to what's being said, what's in the middle, and what's at the end. You know what I'm saying? To be present enough to listen, because sometimes, like they say, the difference between sound, what you hear, is what you don't hear. That's why you hear sound, because you don't hear sound, you know? So I love this journey. Like Maya Angelou coined it, but I just feel I would have said it, you would have said it. It just resounds. You know, I wouldn't trade this journey for nothing. Wouldn't trade this journey for nothing.
Absolutely.
The good,
absolutely. And let me just say, we all have our moments. We all have our moments, you know, but how you handle that moment, how we handle that moment is important to our development, you know, and nobody is perfect all the time. Nobody is, you know, has all the answers. Nobody is well, whatever. Nobody, you know. So you have to remember, I am not perfect. I am not going to try and run other people's lives, because this is their journey. And, you know, if I'm not God, then what gives me the right to try and force somebody to live the life I think they should be living? You know, so no, go make your mistakes, learn from your mistakes, because guess what? That's what makes us stronger. You know, that's what strengthens us. You know, learning our lessons and earning our blessings. That's so important. And, you know, when we feel that we are strong enough to live this life, and no matter whether or not we make mistakes, or no matter what mistakes we make, as long as we know that we have the ability to make a mistake and keep going, no matter what, that's a gift right in itself.
That's a gift that is totally a gift in itself. And
absolutely.
And another thing too, you know, I would be remiss not to say anything, especially when it comes to aging with grace and style, is, and it goes back to hearing the body, listening to the body, resting, all of those, eating right and supplements, but also taking that time to go within our inner self. And that's where we call it quiet time, meditation, you know, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, some people may say an hour, whatever, that's personal, leave it personal, you know?
Absolutely.
I believe in seek early, the early bird catches the worm, you know, before the noise and the music and the sounds and the voices and the people and the chatter and the chitter and all that. So all of that other stuff that I go in me when I get up in the morning, you know, that I can have that quiet, still peace, because that's like my spa, my spiritual spa, that I get to just breathe and be still and be quiet, be still and know that I am, you know, and then, you know, to set my intention for the day. I'm going to be happy today. I don't care what comes, I'm going to be happy today. You know, anybody who's not with that vibration, I don't expect to see you. And if I do,
absolutely,
I'm going to escape this too, you know, like, yeah, because I want to be, we're here to have joy. We're here to, you know, to be, that came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. We're here to have peace and joy, you know, and so, especially at this age, I don't need nobody upsetting it, you know?
Right, absolutely. And I agree with you. One of the things the lifestyle I chose to live a number of years ago, peace of mind and happiness. And I told people, you can only have spurts of happiness if you don't have peace of mind, because something's always going to be going on there, and you can't quiet yourself. And you know, I want to go back to what you were talking about with the supplements. I read something this week that people are overtaking supplements, and what's happening is causing a heart palpitations and heart problems. And so you can literally kill yourself thinking you're doing, you know, what you need to do to be healthy, but you're taking all of these supplements that are not healthy for you, and you end up either sick and in the hospital or dead. So people got to, you know, my doctors know what supplements I take.
Right.
And they're okay with that. And
right.
I'm not overdoing it when it comes to the supplements. I take those supplements that the doctors for me based on my physical health condition.
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, we have to really stop over medicating ourselves because in some ways we're doing ourselves a real disservice. And in the long run, we're harming ourselves. So, you know, as we grow and we go and we become our best.
Right. Let me just piggyback.
We got to be wise. And I think that that's the one thing I love most about aging, the wisdom that comes with it and all of the lessons we've learned and the blessings we've earned as a result.
Exactly. And when you said the supplements, one more thing, aspirins, that's a personal thing, because remember years ago they would say take an aspirin, it thins the blood, it keeps the people from having a heart attack and stuff. That's not the case anymore. That has changed. See, medical
that has changed.
Evolves, the medical history, medical practice, medical suggestions and all that input, it changes, it evolves. And now they'll tell you, if your doctor tells you to take an aspirin, everybody shouldn't be taking an aspirin, because some people don't, they don't, their blood,
absolutely,
it can bleed to death, you know, and some people it causes just the
they can bleed to death.
Yeah, so I didn't go with the aspirin thing, you know, but it is certain things that we have to, it can be dangerous. So when you were saying that,
absolutely,
I wanted to throw that in there, you know?
Absolutely. And that's so true. And you know, we've come pretty much to the end of our dialogue for this month. I'd like you to share with us some words of wisdom, because your wisdom is just phenomenal. And the things you've learned and the things that, you know, we share with each other, it's just wonderful. So I want you to share. You want me to do that too again?
Okay. Well,
so just share some words of wisdom with our audience.
Okay. What I would say is, since we're talking about grace and style, I just like to keep it there, especially grace, because see, style can be emulated. Style we can pick up from magazines, you know, they even have a style magazine. We can pick it up from, you know, family members, women, and men, people that we admire. Grace is taking care of yourself. Grace is loving yourself. Grace is forgiving yourself. Grace is honoring yourself. Honoring your body, mind, and spirit, knowing that we are spiritual beings having a human experience here on this earth, you know, and being the best person we can be. Grace is extending. Grace is extending to others, extending to ourselves, you know, that which we have been given, like you said, blessed, that we've been so blessed with, and being able to give to others, because there's more than enough. The more that we give, the more we receive, you know, by even doing this, this show with you. It's increasing me 100-fold, because I write out so much stuff that's going in my book that, you know, I can take excerpts and little pieces that's been given to me. It's not mine. The universe gave it to me to give out. It does not belong to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So grace is confidence and accepting and embracing, you know, who we are, and just remembering that there's only one of you. There's only one of me.
Absolutely.
You know, there will not be a replacement. And so I might as well be the best that I can be. And grace is listening and being totally interested. I'm interested in you. I want to hear what you have to say. You know what I'm saying? Not that, oh, I'm listening, but I can't wait. I can't even hear you because I want to talk, you know. It's always seeking. Grace is seeking higher heights, deeper depths, more knowledge, more wisdom, more understanding, more grace, just more.
Absolutely.
More grace. And grace, I'll end with this because I probably could say a whole lot more, but grace will take you, this is it. Grace will take you where having no grace won't. I know that's so silly, right?
Ain't that the truth, girl? If we can touch each other for high five. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
So on that note, on that note, Constance, this has been a fabulous dialogue. I you know, I love our conversations. We've had these kind of conversations for years. And so now that we've reached the 7 p.m. time, my time, and I think that's 4 your time, it's time for us to say goodnight to our audience. And
good night.
I love you, girl.
I love you.
Yeah, we on a sister ship. Come with us, we on a sister ship. Yeah, we on a sister ship. Roll with us, we on a sister ship.
Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it.
We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya.
Substance, sis, you know we on a mission, no games. Help each other get over some things, build strength, bring change. Cause we been through the rain, now it's time to shine like bling. Let's talk about life skills. We building up our quality to right wills. We rolling out of poverty, love heals. So we become the prodigy of how a sistership could be a really hot commodity. Stand together, we united, hold hands. Support each other dreams and our plans, doing everything we can. Just to show we understand the power of a friendship, fam. Live life on purpose, together we learn it. Yeah, let's talk, we don't wanna see you hurt. And we here for each other, no matter the color, networking. That's for sure and for certain. Come on!
Yeah, we on a sister ship. Come with us, we on a sister ship. Yeah, we on a sister ship. Roll with us, we on a sister ship.
We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with ya.
Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got this now. Come on, let's talk about it.